welcome to this very special broadcast. It is difficult to maintain good skin in today's day and age, and with all those zillion products available in the market that promise us good skin and whatnot, with pollution rising, with climatic change, with stress, tons of it, how does one really maintain healthy skin? Well, to talk about that and more on that, I'm very happy to be joined by Dr. Kiran Sethi with me here at the NDTV studios here in the National Capital, who has recently authored Skin Sense. This book that she has authored is Dr. Kiran's Guide to Being Beautiful, and when you have a book like this available in the market, why not give it a try? And let's find out what is Skin Sense after all. Dr. Kiran Sethi, thank you very much for joining us in our studios. You are here with us talking about skin and all things that make sense of skin.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to be talking about my book, Skin Sense. It's an all-in-one. It covers everything from home remedies to common skin conditions to what skincare to buy, what actives to buy, what skincare to use through the ages, PCOS, hormone conditions, treatments that might be in your city. I break it down one by one, and I hope an easy-to-read way.
In fact, I want to just begin by asking, is there anything as such as the perfect skin?
There is no such thing as perfect skin. Your skin is an envelope. It's designed to protect you. It's designed to create a barrier between you, your insides, and the elements. It helps with temperature regulation. It helps with preventing infections. It helps with preventing allergies. It's a barrier. It's also a signal for problems inside.
A lot of people talk about developing bad skin or some kind of allergies or marks post-vaccination or after having contracted the virus. So take us through the topic of COVID skin.
So what I have seen in my clientele is I have seen post-COVID, it could be either due to the medications or the virus itself, a lot more acne, especially I think when they had that wave and a lot of people were on oral steroids for COVID. Post that, acne was a big concern. We also see a hell of a lot of hair fall. Hair fall is very common post-COVID, and it's really severe. Some people were coming in with like bags of their hair. It was pretty scary. But again, it does stop and it does get better.
In your book, in fact, you talk about the treatments and the tools and what one can actually do to treat acne skin while you're on a PCOS journey. So take us through, to our viewers through this. I, for one, can relate to it.
The way I talk about PCOS is that, look, PCOS is sort of telling you that you're just more sensitive to certain things. You're more sensitive to sugar, you're more sensitive to certain foods, you're more sensitive to stress. So you just have to take care of yourself just that bit more. So it very often becomes an exercise in self-care. But PCOS is a huge issue, and if you learn how to manage it in a healthy way, it's actually quite a manageable thing.
It's also not just women, in fact, doctor. Let's also talk about men who battle with skin issues. Yeah. I don't want to leave them out. What would you like to tell or advise our audience, the male audience, who perhaps also have skin issues? What can they do on a daily basis to protect their skin?
So men are lucky, right? Men have thicker skin, they make more oil. That's why for some reason your husbands or your boyfriends or your brothers, they can use like some horrible soap and wash their face with it and be absolutely fine, and you just feel just that much more jealous, right? It's just because they're just lucky enough to have thicker skin and more oily skin. So men, you benefit from that. But unfortunately, you also have some other problems. Because you have oilier skin, you have a lot more acne than women do.
What are some of your favorite kitchen hacks, or like you said, some of those actually don't work? So why don't you talk us through that?
So I have a whole chapter actually dedicated in my book about kitchen hacks and what works and what doesn't.
Right.
There are certain kitchen hacks where I've had to fix patients from because they just destroyed a lot of their skin just for a short period of time. Things like lemon can cause sun rashes, can even cause pigmentation. That's a favorite in India, but unfortunately it's actually quite a problem. People also believe that just because it's natural that it can't harm you, so sometimes they go overboard, so they'll use that scrub like twice a day for the next 7 days, and they end up with more irritated skin. But there are some DIYs that are actually quite nice that I like, things like an ice cube. If you're feeling really red and hot and your pores look a bit enlarged and you want to go to a party, you can use the ice cube all over your face. You can even use it on a red zit to make it look just a bit less red. Things like natural lip scrubs, just some brown sugar, olive oil. This mix actually does quite nicely on exfoliating and moisturizing your lips.
5 skincare essentials and tips and tricks for the Indian skin this summer. Leave us with that, and also, since you're also wellness specialist, leave us with some wellness tips that our audience can use, and maybe me myself.
Okay, so I'm happy to give you my 5 tips for summer. So summer, you'll typically be more oily and a hell of a lot more sweaty. So what do? First things first, change your face wash. Look for face washes with either salicylic acid or niacinamide. This will reduce oil production so that oil secretion comes down. The other thing is change your moisturizer. Maybe use a gel-based one or a light lotion instead of a heavier cream. The third thing is change your sunblock. Use a gel-based sunblock, but make sure you use even more of it than you otherwise would use, because the sun is just that much stronger in this summertime. So make sure you use 2 finger lengths of sunblock, indoors or outdoors, for the face and neck. The fourth thing is, because you're going to be more oily, while I personally don't believe in toners, I do like certain peel pads that you can use once a day, maybe in the afternoon when you come back after you've really been out sweating. They have ingredients like salicylic acid or alpha hydroxy acids in them, and that'll help clarify your skin, and then you wash it off, and then you just feel just that much less oily. And for those of you that really have an excessive oil issue, either you can use a scrub with an ingredient like mandelic acid, use that a few times a week, or you can actually just carry around blotting papers with you to just calm that excessive oil, because all that excessive oil can also cause obstruction and acne. The next thing that I would say is eat throughout the day, small meals, and try to also avoid your phone at night, because sleep is deeply important. At night, if you're looking at your phone, you end up staying awake more, and then your sleep patterns get disrupted. And eating healthily throughout the day keeps your insulin levels in balance.
Doc, I must end by saying that not seeing our phone at nights, I'm not sure how that is valid for us journalists.
Well, maybe you can have an audio update of your notifications.
An audio update. Technology is the answer to everything indeed. But thank you so much, Dr. Kiran Sethi, for coming to our studios firstly and taking out the time to make sense of all things skin. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.